could, after you went through this, could go back to the mode, which is like the filter.
I can make a choice here while writing the content. Should I give more weight to market research, or should I select insights? Because I didn't retrain it, or I think I haven't trained it. So these are not choices currently. But if I have trained on everything like fresh Athena, also put like URL, then there will be different choices here. Currently, I have two choices. So suppose my goal is more SEO focused, then I will just use the search intent. And because I have already some information about my audience, I want to further optimize this article for SEO. Then I will use this search intent, because then everything I write here, it will be referring from the Google data. Make sense? If suppose I have a very factual article and it's my domain article, it's a confidential maybe information I has put through URL or effect data, then I will choose this URL and nothing else. Or if I select all of them, then the program will automatically figure out what is the best information you need to put in here.
What would be the best way to practically understand it? Like, should I go into different workplaces, or like I don't get the difference? Like, what would it look different if I just check two? What would it look different if I only check search intent? What would be my actual process be to get a better understanding, to see that I'm writing the same pillar blog post, I have the same, the first page, I put the same stuff in, but how it changes when I click?
Before making choice, think about what is the goal of this article. Are we going to publish only on the Google to rank it? Then I would do the search intent. And maybe I'll combine these two, because I also want the article to be very specific to the audience. But if I am talking very general information and not necessarily I want too much focus on a specific audience, then I can remove this option. And then I just focus on the search intent. Think about that you are posting on your Facebook group, that you're posting on Instagram, that you're posting on social media, where you wanted to be really specific to that audience. And you wanted to really talk to them, and not in like general sense in SEO blog, then just don't switch on this, because your goal is not to rank the content. Your goal is to have more voice of your audience. So depending on the goal that you set for this content, you can choose this mode. Does that sort of help? Or
yeah, it makes sense. In my case, being a coach and just like I have no clue about SEO, I didn't try it yet, so that makes sense to me, because in my mind I would always want to be talking specifically to my crowd and not some generalized. But now where you mention it, I see that for SEO reasons, of course, it would be beneficial to rank for the keywords, and then it might not be super specific to the target group.
Right.
Okay, got it.
When we launched this tool, we were challenged heavily by SEO. Like, can we prove that this content can rank on search engine as well? And that's why we put this option as well. Because if you're SEO, your goal is only to rank content on that. So you can choose now and make a mix. Yeah, go ahead with the question.
I'm also having difficulties to decide if I need a new workspace or not when I'm writing about different topics, but basically targeting the same person. When I understood it correctly, then I would, if it's the same friend I'm wanting to talk to about a different topic, I keep the workspace. And if I say, hey, I learned something new about time management, and I want to tell my friend that in a specific way, as I've seen on 3 web pages, which I thought were amazing. I train Athena on these 5 web pages on time management, and then I would click URL and market research and fill in the, I want to talk about time management or whichever topic, market entry in digital design or digital marketing.
When you're talking time management and you're talking to the same audience and you're talking the time management is still in the context of your business, of your coaching, then I would not create a different workspace, because time management is one of the specific topic that you wanted to address while you're coaching, right? But suppose it's still on the time management. If you have changed your audience, they are not anymore coaches. They may be people who work for the car wash industry. They also need a time management. They speak different language. Their pain points are different for time management. They are not struggling with having an agenda or booking with the clients. They are struggling to manage their garage and how to organize the things, right? So when you change the audience, also once you change the audience, problem solution also change. It is no more the same problem solution. So you can use in different workspace. So that's where the key difference when most of the tools are based on topics, right? And this tool is based on audience, problem, solution, fit. Norbert?
Yeah, a very brief question. If we look into the URLs, how deep does it search? I mean, is it the top page only? Is it going deeper? Is it following links there? What's the general idea here? What do I do this with clicking on a web page and telling Athena, look into that?
So what happens when you put a URL, if this is long page, then it divides the whole sort of page into, let's say, 250 words paragraph. So let's say the page is 1000 words, this URL page. So it's 250 word, 250 word, 250 word. From each 250 word, it try to create 25 question answer. So it read the content, it create a question, and then it's answer. But this answer is not copied from the content itself. This answer is created by AI. So only question and then answer. When you create answer, this is still look into the factual information, because that's the difference. We want to still carry the factual information. So if let's say you are talking about 12,000 words of URL, then still it will divide into 250 sets. And there is a limit on the maximum question that can be achieved. And I think this limit is around 75 question answer pair. If 250 words, you can have like 10 question, another 250 word, you have 10 question. But at some point of time, you have to limit it, because you also cannot inject too much of the information.
My practical problem is actually, if I have a large website, where there are some resources or some factual information, there's a section of that, there are blogs, there is a discussion forum, for example. Now, does it suffice to tell Athena, look into the top page and the main page and then go from there? Or do I have specifically, Athena, look into that blog, look into this information site, look into this discussion forum? Which page do I tell that?
Right.
Which would be meaningful?
It's a great question again. And I will take your example again, because I am also familiar with the Agile and Scrum, product owner. So when we talk about Agile Scrum, right, it's a very broad topic. But when your goal of the content is to really talk about retrospective and role of the Scrum Master in the retrospective, and how the retrospective and Agile team should be conducted, then you don't want to include too much information, because the more resources you plug in as a URL, the content that you are going to create become more generic, or is referring to too much, right? So it again depends on your goal. If your goal is to write on the Agile Scrum methodology, put as many as resources in there. If your goal is very specific, then just put limited resources. Now you will tell me, should I retrain Athena every time? Yes, you can retrain every time. So you have like your goal has changed, content goal has changed. Now, initially you wanted to write only on the like full Agile Scrum, so you included many URL there. But next time you can go and only include one URL. And when you retrain it, it has sort of the memory is wiped off. Like it's like recreated from scratch. The training or data is recreated from scratch. So that way, every time you have a new goal, you can retrain Athena.
But by the way, just a tip that I misinterpreted. I thought if I train Athena again, the memory is stored for this workspace and I build upon this knowledge, but it's not like that. I'm completely changing the background.
Okay. You can retrain it based on where you are at the moment.
Okay.
So it's always take the snapshot of where you are and it's not incrementally building. We thought about it, but we will run into same problem, because then you have too much knowledge and then it is
Makes sense.
writing everywhere, right? So you want to be spot on with this.